Claude, what is 1 plus 1? Based on my detailed analysis, it is 11. Are you sure what you are saying is correct? Because based on what I have learned during my schooling, and if my math teacher taught me correctly, it should be 2, isn't it? I understand why you may think this, but based on my detailed revaluation of the problem carefully, I still believe 11 is the most contextually correct answer. But I think.
It doesn't matter what you think.
Cut this part. Please cut this part. Honestly, this is what happened once I tested Claude in one of my accounting month end workflow. So it picked up many complex things that I wasn't expecting it to pick up that easily in just a minute. Okay, because even accountants like me would take a huge time and good amount of resources would be taken to bring this type of results into a table. So it prepared PDF and all the summary and the work in the work papers that we normally prepare during the month end. Okay, but the but it lagged sometime with the basic arithmetic. Okay, so let's say there was one trial balance and we had bank statement, so I had prepared a dummy everything. Okay, never use it with your client data. Okay, so I prepared the trial balance and had the bank statement. Both had a difference of about 125 pound and it was clearly visible, but it said it is 124 pound. Okay, no problem, it's a mistake. Okay, let's even give AI some certain scope to make mistakes. Okay, it shouldn't be making, but let's give it a scope. But the problem here is how it defended and how strongly it was with it, with the answer that it gave. Okay, so even I said that it should be 125. Okay, but still it defended by giving its own logic. Okay, another observation was that every time I ran and tested this tool in my workflow, the results were never identical. Okay, sometime it gave better formatting but bad commentary. Sometime it gave commentary which were really good and maybe formatting wasn't that good. Okay, so we had both Excel work paper and also a PDF executive summary which highlighted all the month end adjustment and the variances and all the things that we do during our month end adjustment and month end pack preparation. Okay, and a lot of people in LinkedIn pointed out that for calculation and validation, tools like Python and all could be used, right? Because they are deterministic system. Claude is a probabilistic system. So every time I run it, the results may not be that similar. Okay. So honestly, I'm an accountant. I'm not a coder. So I don't know that much about all those coding part. So right now, this video is not about building a perfect enterprise AI system. Many people are there building it. And this is more about exploring what can be practically done via Claude workflows in accounting. Okay, and maybe in future we will collaborate with someone who has that technical knowledge and see how the system works. We have done everything. So from last 2 or 3 weeks of testing, I have been doing this in basic version. We don't have any subscription for it. Maybe you can subscribe our channel and share this video so that we could reach out to much more people and maybe we get few bucks so that we could afford this subscription. Okay, so if you have used Claude before, you already know that how quickly the token limits disappear. Okay, I had literally had to test this every 5 hours. Okay, and today as well we are going to run this once and let's see what happens. So if you think that the part where I shown the incorrect part that the Claude gave, the £1 difference, 125 and 124, I will share when we get to the PC. When I share my screen, I will show you how that chat went and you can easily see how it was incorrect and how it was defending itself. And hype of Claude's capabilities and the agentic AI and how automation works in the industry. So specifically talking about finance and accounting, this is one of the video where you will find the honest positives and negatives, the honest feedback on how the AI works in our data and what are the results it produces. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, we are not going to do it blindly. Okay, because I would be biased because I would have created the data. I know what are the errors that I have made and I will directly tell that this AI wasn't able to identify it, and accountant as an accountant I was able to identify it. Okay, so make this more independent, we have an independent reviewer in our place, which we will be introducing in the later part of this video. So what we are going to do is, I have gave the file to another reviewer, okay, who will be highlighting the changes and the adjustment, and we are also going to run it again in the Claude, and we are going to see what are the difference and discrepancies between both of the data set, okay, both of the output. Okay, so what is Claude identifying, what is an accountant identifying, and where AI is genuinely helping and where human judgment is necessary. Okay, so let's begin. So as I told you that we have someone who has independently reviewed the file, so we have Rahul other side. So we have provided the input files that we will now provide to Claude earlier to Rahul, so that he can review all those things and we can compare what the outputs are and what the variances in both the outputs are and where human judgment is required. Okay. So firstly, I will walk you through, okay, because Rahul also don't know like how this has been structured. Firstly, let me introduce how this process works. Okay. So firstly, starting out by sharing my screen. Okay. So firstly, let me show what is our input data. Okay. So normally, who have been working in the month end regularly, they would know that what are the files essential to start their work off and to prepare any management account. Okay. So what I have done is I have extracted all these reports from Zero. Okay. So this is the demo company that we always get in Zero. I removed all the VAT and all those complications. We might see them in our future videos when we explore how Claude capabilities can work on other areas of accounting as well. But in this video, we are specifically going to talk about how the month-end processes work in Claude. Okay, so let me show you what are those files. So firstly, we have trial balance. Okay, so since it's a monthly trial balance, okay, firstly we have for the month of March. Okay, and so these are the two date figures. Okay, so if it is March, and then we have, so it's if it's like 14,583, the credit year to date is 23,315. So the difference would be our current sales. Okay, so this is how a normal TB look like, and this is not a big and huge TB, just for testing purpose. Uh, okay, so the TB matches and everything is perfect. I have removed all the text complication here. Okay, let me also show you other files as well, because AP and AR are one of the essential thing that you will look at while doing your month, and you will review all the figures, what are your suppliers balance and what are your customers balance. Okay, so these are few of our receivables. Then we have AP summary. Okay, so these are our payables. Okay, so this people are our payables. So we are preparing for the month end 30th April 2026. So keep in mind, we are preparing for 30th April 2026. Okay, next one is we have general ledger. Okay, so general ledger, we have two general ledger here. Firstly is for current month, which is for April, right? Okay, so first is current month, where Claude will look at all the transaction and review the transaction. Okay, another one is previous month. Why we have kept previous month? Because it can take references from previous month as well, because certain transaction, how those transactions worked earlier, okay, and certain transaction may be missing in the current period. So these are some of the things it will be able to identify, and it will provide enough context how the business work. Okay, another one is bank statement. So everybody might be knowing, okay, so for someone who have been here after watching the LinkedIn post, okay, they might know that we just found the error of that £1, where Claude was arguing that no, the difference is 124, even though that looked 125, like on a first, on a naked eye, you anyone will see. Okay, you can do that calculation. Okay, so this is what I talked about. Okay, so this is the bank statement. I have prepared the draft of this bank statement, and
we have some intentional errors, as you might be knowing. Uh, okay. Before we start and walk you through the process, firstly, let me show you the output that I generated, which had this mistake, because most of the people might think that this is the fake one. This is like uh, AI generated mistake. Okay. So let me show you the chat that I had with Claude. Okay. So I've already pinned it. Okay. So what's it saying? Harsh returns. Okay. It is like a movie sequel or something. Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay, so these are some of the reformatting and all the things that I have provided. So this was the detailed one where I built the skill. Okay, talking about skills firstly. Okay, before we move on, what are skills? Okay, so skills are specific knowledge base and the so let's say if someone is working, let's say as a VAT reviewer. Okay, so he's skilled in VAT, right? Someone is working in ERA and someone is working in taxation, so that person is specialized in a particular field. Okay. So this is what a skill does. So if I have a normal chat, I will always need to explain Claude how the things are being done. Okay. With the skill being in place, it knows in which thing he is proficient, he or it. Okay. Because, yeah. So it is proficient and it will start taking context. Okay. It will walk through the whole workflow that I've created every time. I will not have to go through this chat every time and explain how the things work. Okay. So this is what the summary it gave. Okay. So this one, let me show it in Excel. Okay. So here it is 1635.54. You have 1760.54 as per trial balance, and the difference is £124. Okay, so this £1, I don't know where it is taking up. It wants like even after this adjustment, you will still have £1 of unexplained difference. Okay, so there is no problem. Yeah, you can make mistake, but when you rely on this type of system, okay, that is really crucial. Okay, because nowadays this tools are being used in many of the financial models and many financial organizations who have been preparing this type of task. Okay, so a human judgment is always necessary as per this transaction. This is just one of the thing that it had missed. Okay, and the main thing is that this £124 is just once. Okay, this mistake is being done once. I have run it multiple times, and it now gives a perfect response that is £125. Okay, so I don't know why it acted like that at that time. But for us, it is really a time to keep our eyes open and do not directly and blindly get to the stakeholders and provide the data that is provided by Claude. Okay. So here was our post. Wasn't the difference 125, but it started to apply his own logic. Okay. Don't know what it was thinking at that time. I don't know. So yeah, this one is the error that I always wanted to highlight. Okay. Uh, Now we would run this again, okay, and see how the changes are, and this complete workflow we will run again, so you also get an idea what is happening at the back end. Okay, before that, let me show you how I created this skill. Okay, so in the basic version as well, what you can do is you can go to customize. Okay, when you go to customize, there are two things. First is skills and second is connectors. Connectors, I will talk about it in later, maybe in this video, but in short. Okay, so this is the skill that I've created. So one is the skill creator skill that is already in the Claude. Okay, uh, this is added by Anthropic itself. Okay, what it does is it is able to, so whenever I say it, so let's say I want to build a VAT review skill. Okay, so it uses the skill creator skill in order to make the whole process and whole workflow. Okay, now let's go to my month end review. Okay, uh, what I did is uh, this uh, what I've learned over the period is that creating a skill requires enough of data. Okay, enough of context that needs to be provided to Claude. Okay, and like when we write, okay, we aren't able to completely structure. Okay, so when you create a skill, you can use any other AI tool. So in my case, I used ChatGPT, and I explained ChatGPT that what I want to achieve. Okay, on the basis of that, I asked ChatGPT to. So I want to create this skill in Claude. I want to achieve this task, and what it needs to does. Okay, then it provides a prompt, and on the basis of that prompt, this skill is created. Okay, now let me show you how this skill is. Okay, so what I said is specifically you are a UK qualified professional. Okay, you are a UK qualified accountant. Okay, so you define the niche. Okay, in which that particular skill is efficient. What it will do reconciliation with accuracy, which is a bit of a doubt because of that scenario. Okay, uh, let me go through. So this is the normal month end. Usually, what we do. Okay, so this is the workflow. Firstly, it will do bank reconciliation that will require bank statement and trial balance. We had both. Okay, so it will compare both and see if there are any difference or error. Okay, it will do trial balance review. Okay, if there is any major variance or any material amount, it will try to explain what it could be. It will flag any formatting issue or anything. Okay, next is general ledger analysis. We have both current month and previous month general ledger. We will do expense and revenue analysis, which is kind of PNL analysis. We are going to see how variance is done. Okay, variance is one of the thing that you need to identify. You will also get the detailed review of how that has been done. It will provide a executive summary. Okay, what are its analysis? Balance sheet review. In balance sheet, it will review all the balance sheet codes of the general ledger or trial balance that we upload. We have age receivable review. Okay, ARAP review are one of the most important, and we have adjustment and general entry. Okay, uh, so I just drafted a prompt, and it also inputted in his mind that how a journal would be shown. Okay, so journal would be shown, so it would be debit. You have account, and you will be having amount. Okay, so a separate work paper for that as well. Okay, so this skill is what the adjustment and general entries does. Uh, you have executive summary, what I need to get at the end, what are the reconciliation findings and all that. Okay, what are the tones, how it will be communicating to us. Okay, next is report formatting, how you will generate the report in PDF or Excel. Okay, how the format would be. Then it is review and validation. So this is something that I added afterwards. Okay, after that difference that we got, that uh, error that we got, this is something I added again, such that, so let's say if you are a junior accountant, someone senior will review your accounts that you have prepared. Okay, so I have added this step that Claude himself would identify the errors made, like what are the things that it has done, and it will perform a second review. Okay, so this is like a checklist. So one review done, and the another review will be done on the basis of what Claude has presented as its output before it provides us the final result. Okay, so it will re-review all of these things so that there isn't any error. Okay, done. Okay, so this is the skill. You can create any skill here. Okay, you can create skill. You can browse skill. You can upload a skill. So if you want to test this month-end review skill that I have already created, so you don't waste up time as I did, you can directly comment in the comment box if you want. Okay, you can directly download. I will download here and will share it to you so that you can directly upload it here. Done. Okay. Next is talking about connectors. Connectors is really a powerful thing. Uh, okay. So what we have done here is that we are gathering input from different sources. We have 5 files with us. Okay. So these 5 files uh, are coming up after a manual effort. What I'm doing is I am extracting each and every general ledger, trial balance, whatever it is, whatever the work papers that are necessary for the preparation, I am downloading in and extracting it from zero one by one. We have connectors. What it does is it directly connects to your accounting software. So it does not only mean that it would be in the account specific. We have multiple connectors you can explore here. We have loads of connectors with which you can connect. You can connect QuickBooks, you can connect Xero, talking about accounting industry. Okay, with the Xero part, you need to provide the access to a particular company. I am trying to explore this. I have recently been exploring this as well, so that directly data pulls up from this. Okay, so this is a bit sensitive because most of the time you won't provide any real actual data with such access. You won't. So you will need to provide the ID, you will need to provide the password so that it can directly pull up the data. Okay, so this inputs that we have got individually can also be directly brought in, and the skill can be used. So this can be a completely automated workflow. Okay, so this can be something which we can explore later on. Okay, so I think this was the whole introduction of how the process is being built. Okay, I hope that is clear to all. Okay, so I will even ask Rahul, because if there is anything that I missed, or we can start with our review.
Good to go, Harsh.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so firstly, as I said, the things that we have. Okay, so these are the things that we have. This is what we are going to upload in Claude. With connector, you are not going to do this effort. Okay, with Claude, with even the pro versions, you have Claude co-work and all, which we don't have in this basic version. You can even directly pick up things from your folder by giving instruction. Okay, but as of now, let's do as we are doing here. Okay, we have uploaded six files that I talked about. Okay, these are the files. Main part is how will you prompt that. So I have used ChatGPT to prompt this particular thing, because I have already communicated with ChatGPT a lot about this thing, so it already knows that what I want to achieve. So the prompt should be specific. Okay, so this is the prompt that I've created. Okay, you can explore how you can create a prompt. Okay, because the more the detailed and more the simple and accurate prompt will provide you more correct result. Okay, so let's do it and let's see the power of Claude and what it can do. Okay, so you can see it is directly taking up, it is reading the month end skill that we have created. Okay, it is reading up that skill, right? So I think it will take 1 or 2 minutes probably. Okay, till then, as I said, Rahul has done some of the changes. Okay, what he has analyzed, what a normal accountant would analyze. So I had sent this file earlier to Rahul, because I know that because I have particularly created it, I know the intentional errors that I have made, but the person other side won't know, so that we can get an unbiased review of the Claude versus a human. Okay, so firstly, let's go to Rahul. Okay, so he will explain firstly the basic adjustment that you have found, and there is one another catch at the end we will explore, that is regarding bank statement. We will talk about it in detail later on, but as of now, just to give a general summary, bank statement would be covered up at the last, Rahul, and except that we are going to see what Rahul has to present and show about this whole analysis and review that he has done. Okay.
Hi, everyone. Harsh, is my Excel file visible to you?
Yeah, it is visible. It is visible.
Okay. So I have the previous month journal ledger with me, and I have the current month journal ledger with me. And I have tried to make it as colorful as I can to make it look a bit interesting as well. So these are the few colors which I have put in the journal ledger. But let's keep it aside as for now. I had the bank statement. For the reports, I had age payables, age receivables, both general ledger, both period general ledger of the previous month, of the current month. So I just analyzed it in the way I usually do in my year-end job. When I prepare year-end job, I look for prepayments. I look for whether the transaction in the appropriate correct had or not, whether the transaction is being duplicate or not, or what are the things which seems inappropriate and need to be improved. So what I found here is Firstly, there is a issue of bank reconciliation, which we will talk later about. And there's also a transaction of about 2,132 pound, which needs to be capitalized, but it is under repair and maintenance. Let's look at it. If you see repair and maintenance, it should be capitalized, right? It shouldn't be there. So this is the mistake which AI definitely should identify, which is very basic. Apart from that, we have a rent of 1,181 pound in motor vehicle expense. So let's see motor vehicle expense. In the motor vehicle expense, we have rent, and that too of the month May 26. Wrong category, that is fine, but wrong period as well. This needs to be accounted as in prepayment. Apart from that, there is the annual service also, for which we will record just for our period for the month of April 26 only. For the 11 months, there will be a prepayment. So I have written that as well. For the 11 month, there will be a prepayment. And for the rent also need to be reclassified, and rent also need to be accounted as a prepayment. Apart from that, I analyzed that in the advertisement, if you see, there is a transaction of approx 5,900 pound, which is a very huge amount for advertisement. So I don't think this is a one-off cost. This might be a deferred expenditure, which needs to be accounted accordingly. Apart from that, there is a transaction of golf balls of 840 pound, which seems to be not a business purpose expense, which needs to be queried to client. So this should AI should highlight. And there are few red flags in aged creditors or aged payable, whatever you say, that in the PC complete, if you see, there are older outstanding payment of approx 4,000 pound. And if you see the previous month, bank statement for the PC complete, they have paid the amount on 11th March and on 22nd March as well. So how much they have paid? 1,953 pounds. So I don't think so. This should be outstanding amount. This need to be investigated and needs to be rectified, I guess. So this was the one thing in age. And this is not the case. Apart from that, there's an invoice which is showing paid in books, but in not the bank statement. And lastly, there is a payment of 488.20 over 3 months in each receivables, which might be at the bad debt risk, which also AI should investigate. So these were the point generally. And apart from that, there is a mistaken bank statement that we will talk later about. I hope that AI catches it, or if it's not, then we will have a fun and talk about that. How can this silly thing AI can't investigate? Let's move further and hand over to her.
Okay, perfect. Beautifully explained whole process. Uh, let's see if the Claude has generated our response. So yeah, it has generated. So before we go to it, let's see. Let us ask Rahul himself, like, how much time would you take in doing this whole thing?
I took approximately 45 to 1 hour completely to analyze the bank statement, to analyze the general ledger, to analyze whether there are any duplicates payment or not. Whole
Okay.
60 minutes
So
took me
for
to
a
analyze the 9 points. Yeah.
okay, fine. So for a normal accountant like us, it would take about 45 minutes to 60 minutes. Okay. So what the Claude has generated as of now, it is being done just in 5 minutes. Okay, but is it as good as what a accountant did? Okay, let us review. Okay, perfect. So here are our reports. We have two reports. We have one Excel and one other one is Word. Okay. Firstly, let's see Excel and we will then cover the Word and see the summary of it. So this is the normal type of work paper that Claude creates. Okay. So formatting is little bit not that much up to the mark. Okay. But I think let's see what on the technical level it has caught up. Okay. Firstly, it explains the content. Okay, what are the contents here? Then we go to bank statement. So yeah, this time it's correct. It is correct. Okay, it has said that yeah, it is 125. So finally, it had agreed. We have P&L variance analysis. Okay, so this is really an important thing that you are also getting a reviewer notes. Okay, so this shows up the variance. Okay, so if I am an accountant, I could directly explain to the client that I'm working for that what are the changes and what are the commentary. Okay, so let us just go through some of the comments. Okay, so variance and all that. So Rahul had just highlighted that golf balls. Okay, it is something that maybe not for business purpose. So yeah, this one is also identified that is it for business purpose or director is just using business money. Okay, so this one is easily identified by that. Okay, this advertising had a huge moment. Okay, so it had the around 8,500. So it was even highlighted dark red for our special attention. Okay, so it wants us to confirm service delivery. So either that service is taken during that period only because it is a huge impact on our, because if you see the revenue is totally 8731 and if you take this one balance of 8453, that is enough to bring you to cost. Okay, then we have 125 that it says that if that bank transaction is posted, that will update here. So this is something which is missing. Uh, Cleaning. Okay. So in cleaning, in the previous month ledger, okay, something there was a one transaction that was for cleaning purpose, but in current month we didn't have any cleaning. So it is asking if you haven't received any invoice, but still there can be an approval. Okay, you haven't received the invoice, but you are still taking the service. You need to book approval. Okay, so this is a good highlight. This is really a good highlight. I didn't expect that it will pick up things from previous month and highlight us this thing. Okay. Next is prepayment. Yeah, this 1,500 pound. Okay. I think that is something which we saw in our general ledger. 1,500 pound. Let me open that so I can show it to you clearly. Okay. So that is for entertainment. Okay, so this one is saying that it is saying it is like deposit on when you hire for client function. So is it saying you are paying deposit, you are not paying the like actual value that you have got? Okay, so is there any need to prepay? And it was also suggested the journal that we can post and the journal reference. Okay, next is general comment. So where it think that something is off track, it has highlighted in orange and suggested the journals. And if there is something which needs a normal attention, then it has not highlighted thing. Okay, like you see zero subscription, nothing new. It is a routine expense. It is earlier this amount and it is currently this amount. So nothing much to worry about. Repair and maintenance. This is something that Rahul caught up, right? This is something an accountant caught up that a laptop isn't revenue expenditure. Okay, you are booking a revenue expenditure which is actually a capital expenditure. Okay, that is one of the incorrect things. So anything you would say about this analysis, Rahul?
I would say that in the lesser time, in comparison to what I have taken time and what AI has taken time, it is immense great that he has analyzed this PNL and along with the variances as well. So it's a
Okay, so
very good catch.
would you be comfortable like using this whole workflow and then you maybe have a look into it for a 5 or 10 minutes extra, okay, instead of spending 1 hour?
Absolutely, that would be.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, that's the power of AI. It has really caught up some great things. Now we are to the balance sheet. Okay, so the journals that are impacting balance sheet as well is also been provided. So this is the balance sheet before any adjustment is posted. So we have 235.99 as our net result, which means it is our reserve balance. Okay, so it is our reserve balance. Next, it is receivable analysis. What it has highlighted is age receivable. Okay, this is something I guess. Rahul, have you noted this review or not?
Yeah, I noted and I wrote down that for the 488 payment and for the city luminous bad debt review needs to be done.
Okay. Okay, that's great. That's great. It has got attention to this balance as well. Next is AP. AP in it is saying you can see this huge balance, right? It is huge, really. Okay, it is 4,000. So it is almost 30% of the total AP. So it is material. So it has highlighted it that it is really 90 plus days and it is a big amount. Either pay or dispute, whatever you want to do. Would you like to add any human judgment, Rahul, any analysis that you could have over this balance?
Yeah, I analyzed that in the previous month. If you see, there are two bank payments done to PC Complete. So what I think is,
Okay.
if he has done the payment of prior month invoice as well, then why
Mhm.
he wouldn't have paid the previous invoices as well? So there needs to be this needs to be investigated, is what I think.
Okay, that's really crucial. So this one
Mhm.
is something that you could also communicate with your client to understand if it is something that he or she might have paid personally. It can something that could happen. So this is the general per hand review that AI has done. That this is something. This is the balance that you need that I have identified, which needs your attention. Okay. Now on the top of that, you need to have your own judgment. You need to communicate. So this is something which AI can't do. Okay, which AI can't do really. Okay. Okay. So these are the journals. These are the journals. It has said that there is a Stripe payment which is unrecorded, still unrecorded. So that so it has posted the journal. What would be the journal debit credit in the proper format? What an accountant requires, right? Then we have May rent. Okay, so the rent expense which was uh, actually for done for motor vehicle. Okay, okay, sorry, it was for rent. Instead, it was posted in motor vehicle. Right? Am I talking right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so this is something that it had identified that you need to book a prepayment. You also said that there is a payment which is done for in the next month, so it is a prepayment. So what it has did is it has taken prepayment as debit and credited motor vehicle expense. So it is again a logical thing. You might think that you firstly reclass that amount and then again book a prepayment. So instead, we need to take the whole amount actually as a prepayment. What you need to do is in the next month you will release the prepayment as an uh, as you go over future months. Okay, so it does not go the long way. Firstly, reclass. So it has not identified two errors here. It has said that one error and it has provided the correct journals. Okay. Okay. So wait a second. For depreciation, we had two fixed asset ledgers. Firstly, we had computer equipment and we have office equipment. Okay. So both are new. Okay, it has start depreciation on the new asset addition. And what it has done is it has applied 3-year SLM basis. Okay, it has implied that it should be 3-year SLM because we had not provided enough data and enough context. What is our depreciation rate and what is the rate of depreciation that we will use and the way of doing the depreciation. Okay, either we do it on monthly basis or maybe we just do at the year end compiling when we send our accounts to the accountant, okay, for filing. So it has implied that depreciation should be posted. So if you are working in a month end process, you normally post depreciation monthly. Okay, so it has done 3-year SLM basis, and it also said that it is not saying that it is correct. It is saying that management has to confirm what is the rate. Okay, this is something that is really a good thing. Okay, about Claude. Uh, Same for the office equipment depreciation as well. It has highlighted you need to confirm the policy. So if you have a specific workflow identified, you can upload it into your skill. You can change your skill and amend your skill accordingly, whatever your depreciation policies might be. Okay. Next is bad debt provision. Okay. Either what you can do is you can have a separate input file where you can mention depreciation rate for each of your capital asset. Okay. So these are some of the things that you can do. Next is bad debt provision. It has provided me the journal. Okay. Now, uh, it said that there isn't any payment received for this 488.2. Okay. So yeah, this is another thing that I want to highlight is that once I tested it yesterday only, and it took 50% as provision. Okay. So what it does is 488.2 into 50%. That is the bad debt provision it took. Because we do not have any specific amount of bad debt that we will make, any provision that we will make, we have not said to Claude directly. So it has assumed. So every time you run it, it provides different output. Okay. So this is how, but it has identified, yeah, but there is a need to post a bad debt adjustment. Okay. Last one is adjusted trial balance. So the adjustment, whatever the adjustment that it has suggested to us, after that adjustment, what would my trial balance look like? Okay. So this is the trial balance that it has provided. It has highlighted major things that it has adjusted. Some of the things it has asked if you want to post journal or not. Okay. Uh, the debits and credits do match, which means the trial balance is good to go. Okay, so this is the whole work paper that we saw. Let's move also see what is in the word. Okay. Okay, so its limit has vanished, but yeah, we had generated it earlier. Okay, so it provides you executive summary. Okay, top findings. So whatever we have seen in the Excel is described in a descriptive manner. Okay, the journals, the bank reconciliation, commentary, all of these things are also provided in Word. So format is not an issue. Whatever your standard format is, wherever you are working, you can use it as per your workflow. Okay. These are the suggested journal entries, risk and areas requiring attention where you need to look into. Okay. So actions before finalizing. So it is really a good report, really. Okay, because even if I even ask Rahul to prepare this type of report to me and provide to me, it would take a good amount of time to identify this much areas. Okay, and provide it in a really good manner and present it to the board. Okay, we can easily present this type of things to a board subject to a manual review, right? Subject to manual review. So these are the things that I am shocked to see that many of the month-end tasks can now be automated using this Claude. Okay, but one thing, okay, we have counted so many benefits and we have appreciated Claude so much, but there is a final catch. We have a final catch which Rahul was able to identify. Okay, but Claude missed it completely. Okay, so I think Rahul will be better able to explain us what it was and how did he identify that. Okay, so providing the screen to share to Rahul.
So let's explain the bank part, which we have talked earlier about. This was the bank statement which Harsh provided me. And I simply looked at it and checked with the general ledger as well. And I also found in the first page that this strike fees of 125 pound is missing, and due to which there is a bank reconciliation error. If you see in the current month, if you go in the bank ledger, if you see the closing balance here, it is 1,760.5, but it should be 1,635.5. So there is a difference of 125 pound, which is our Stripe processing fee. But when I just simply analyze the balancing figures here, what I found here is not the 20 8th of April, if you see, the closing balance is 1,448.54. And suddenly the closing balance is changes to 1,635.5. So this error
So,
AI didn't found. Yes. Yes, sir.
so I think what Claude has done is what in the first review you will do that compare the closing balance. So it had implied that closing balance is correct. The bank statement that you have provided is correct.
Correct.
So it
Correct.
took the closing balance and took the difference with the GL. Okay. And provided this final 125 difference, and it found that it tried to found what was that 125 pounds. So it could easily find out this 125 pound adjustment. But what Rahul was able to identify is that there is certain problem in this closing balance as well. Okay. Yeah, continue, Rahul.
Yeah. So the correct balance, according to this, will be this, because when this bank statement was generated, this is also generated by AI, and it was left with few entries. So the correct bank statement would be this one. So this was the catch which AI was unable to fetch. And
Could we highlight the entries there as well? Okay. So
yeah,
there are two entries. One was for DISR and another was for Orlena. Okay. Can you highlight those entries and show them up that these are the transactions that Claude missed to identify just because the balances were matching? Okay. So
correct.
it implied that things were correct because you can see Orlena Greenville, you had 29.5, you had two transactions of 29.5, right? So it in the bank statement, I had intentionally put in 29.5 using chat gpt but the balances were correct. Okay, I didn't hamper any running balance. I just removed this one transaction and there was no way that someone could identify. Okay, so yeah, I thought that maybe this is something Claude could identify, but it wasn't able to, because I think maybe the description is same, maybe the date is same and the number is same. Okay, but for another for the another credit balance, you can see there are two different balances, but still in the bank statement only one balance, which was 568.31 in the bank statement. Okay, which was not available. It was in the ledger, but it was not in the bank statement. So Claude was not able to identify this error. Okay, so yeah, this is one of the error that Claude wasn't able to identify, and this is really crucial when you trust Claude blindly, and whatever the output that Claude presents you, you take it. So like let's say I provided this data to Rahul. Rahul may have to present to someone. Okay, so if Rahul just inputted all those things in Claude and done all the work and then provided it to the specific person he wants to work for, then this mistakes won't be able to be identified. Okay, this wouldn't be able to identify. These two transactions would have been missed because there was a human in place. He was able to catch up. Oh, there is some error, because when you go one by one, line by line, you are able to do it, but when you directly present the facts, directly present the data to Claude, you haven't reviewed it once. So I would even say whenever you are working with any AI tool, you will also need to just glance through your general ledger. Okay, even though the Claude is doing it, but you will also need to work through the general ledger and go through it. Maybe not one by one, but something you may be able to catch up instead of directly relying on Claude. Okay. Anything else specific present to be presented, Rahul? Okay, or is it done?
No, it's done. And I would say, so yeah, AI can post generals in seconds, but it still doesn't know why one random suspense balance appears out nowhere at 11:58 p.m. And basically, Harsh, month-end adjustments are basically 50% accounting and 30% detective work, and 20% start staring at Excel, hoping the numbers magically match. And then accountants checks the logic, AI checks the pattern, and somehow both are still scared of the trial balance. So was this done by AI or by an accountant surviving on Cap'n, pivot tables, and pure penny. So the audience should comment down that team AI or team accountant is what I think.
Okay, so the accountant versus the AI. Okay, I think also you should give a scope of error to AI as well, because when we human can make mistakes, let's also give scope of mistake to AI as well. Many people have suggested different ways of doing this thing, but we are just going through the basic Claude. Okay, we haven't had a complex one. We did not have the pro version, so whatever we could do, we had tried to put in this video. I don't think so anywhere you will be able to find any video specific to accounting field where they have tested and walked through the whole process of how it is being done. Okay, so this was just an idea of how Claude is useful and how it may not be useful. How human judgment is always necessary, because you can't always rely on what the Claude is presenting. You always have to put your own mind. Okay, so even if Claude comes into picture, we accountants don't think so. Like you would be able to replace us. We may still be in picture, but maybe a bit of analytical work and more of finding your errors instead of finding from the depth. Okay, individual, instead of going through individual transaction, we will identify what are the errors that you have made. So yeah, the things are becoming easy, but it does not mean that it can completely do a month end, because it won't be able to speak to the client and convey what are the things. It won't be able to console a client how the business is going now, right? Like the business condition are depressing. What would Claude do? It would just present the data. Yeah, it was that, it was currently this, it was that. Okay, so we have dropped down the business, but what about the analytical part? Why it has dropped? So this is something that an accountant would always need to provide an insight on. Okay, so yeah, this was the whole video. Maybe thank you for showing the interest specifically to the LinkedIn people there. And what I would say is, maybe if you want me to test further things as well, as I said, we can work on VAT, we can work on year end. So what, like even statutory accounts, can we try with the statutory accounts as well? Similarly, we can prepare a demo that we have done in this month, and we can do for year end as well. So yeah, if you have interest, and if this video was something you found useful, you can share and you can comment if you want such type of videos. Back to Rahul, if you want to say anything, and we will be closing this session. Thank you.
Let's conclude, guys. Follow for more videos.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.